There are a lot of implications for the cost of living unfolding right in front of us. I think one of the main reasons the Trudeau Liberals are plummeting in the polls is, of course, because of the affordability crisis exacerbated by his carbon tax. And before we started rolling, you pointed out a very important timeline in all of this. Let us know what that's all about.
Yeah, this is a big deal. And so for folks who are thinking, oh, yay, ding dong, the witch is dead, the carbon tax will be over. No, 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 no. In the famous words of Rambo, nothing is over. This is not over. This is just starting. So what's fascinating about this timeline is, get a load of this. So right now, the Liberal Party is going to be selecting a new leader, and they got to get that done at lightning speed, because they're going to reconvene. Parliament comes back on March 24th. Okay? Just after that, because it's been prorogued, they have to have a throne speech. A throne speech is actually a confidence vote. Okay? After that, even if they, for some magical reason, didn't have a throne speech, which of course they have to reconvene Parliament, there's also a supply motion to keep the lights on, to keep money rolling for the fiscal quarter. So there's going to be just minefield after minefield for this brand new Liberal Party leader, whoever that person is, that first week. So March 24th, they reconvene. Shortly after that, throne speech, opposition says the government is going to fall. Then they hit the hustings, they start door knocking. April 1st, carbon tax hike. Imagine being that newly minted Liberal Party leader and a member of Parliament trying to regain your seat or keep your seat, door knocking after you just hiked that person's carbon taxes. Good luck. Good luck.
It's almost like a leg snare laid out by Trudeau for his successor. I'm not even sure, however, that the Liberals will have a new leader in place in the few short months between now and when Parliament comes back or the prorogation ends, because Justin Trudeau kept saying stuff like robust leadership selection process, and robust to me means long and drawn out.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Okay, let's just speculate for fun, because it's fun.
Love it.
For political nerds. Okay. So they're gone now. They're prorogued, which of course, as everybody knows, that means that Parliament is now on ice. Everything has been held. All of the, bills have died on the order paper, as they say. In extreme circumstances, if something is super special, you can bring back a bill at its current stage in a new Parliament, but they have to have all parties agreeing to that. So that would be something special, like a private member's bill that people feel is really important, something like that. Okay. So Parliament is prorogued. As of right now, they're working the phones trying to get a new Liberal leader. I think it's 90 days that is within the Liberal Party constitution that they have to have for their leadership review, for their leadership race. That's 3 months. They say it's coming back March 24th. Imagine if they don't have a Liberal Party leader selected, Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, is still the Liberal Party leader as of March 24th. Then what? Then there's a throne speech, and then there's a confidence vote, and then it falls, and is he automatically then still going to run as leader? Like, it's pretty crazy. So folks within the British parliamentary system that like analyzing this, of course, will point out that we don't vote for a prime minister. Right. We vote for a member of parliament, whoever forms the majority, that party has their leader, and that person becomes prime minister. So this, you're right. This is not over, and this is still a bit of a dog's breakfast. But say the Liberal Party gets its act together real fast, and they manage to have a newly minted person as leader in time for them to sit again, they'll fall immediately from the sounds of it. That's a big asterisk, because we have to wait and see what the NDP actually does, not what they say they're going to do. Then we have an election. But the big roadblock at the end of this thing that they're driving right into is a carbon tax hike. And the carbon tax is one of the reasons why they're at the bottom of the polls. As you said before we started rolling, and I've put it in our op-ed that should be coming out soon in the Sun, it's their millstone. It's the millstone hanging around the necks of all of these candidates. So they should cut it off this week. Like when they have their little emergency cluster meetings and stuff of, oh my God, what are you going to do? They should announce they're scrapping the carbon tax. The Liberals should.
Now, you mentioned something, I just want to correct you on this. You said, we vote for an MP, and that MP, if he is the leader of the party, will become the prime minister. But that is not always the case. We saw a scenario exactly this in Alberta with Jim Prentice. He was selected to be the leader of the PC party, and thus the premier of Alberta, but he at the time did not have a seat. And so we could be faced with a situation where we have a prime minister of this country who is not a sitting MP. And, some of the frontrunners being touted by the mainstream media, like Mark Carney and Christy Clark, neither one of them are sitting MPs.
Wouldn't that be crazy? Yep. So that is a good point. So in the interim, so what you're saying is before an election.
Yep.
So they select their leader within their own party. That person, would automatically become prime minister. Isn't that wild? So in that rare instance, you're right. If there's somebody who is currently does not have a seat, that person does become that, which is kind of fascinating. Now, it would be expected and or hoped that they would then capture a seat, win a seat in the next election. But what an absolute mess. What an absolute mess.
And good luck finding a safe Liberal seat these days. You have a tough time finding one in Toronto at this point.
Keep that in mind, folks. That was not on the edges. Am I allowed to say fringe on this show?
Sure.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I find it offensive.
It's a swear.
It was not on the fringy edges of Toronto. That was in the heart of Toronto.
Yeah.
That bright red dot that was always there that is no longer there. So they're in deep trouble. And I have got to stress a huge reason why. It's not just because of Trudeau, as much as people don't like Trudeau. It's what they did. It's the fact that people can't afford jack anymore. And one of the main reasons why they can't afford stuff is because of stupid things like the carbon tax, which punishes every single part of your life, from heating your home to driving to work to growing food, buying food, you name it. And I still can't believe, frankly, they haven't had an announcement. If I were members of parliament within the Liberal Party, I'd be gathering together some of the pointy heads in the party and saying, we're having a press conference today, saying we're getting rid of the carbon tax.